I was in the range yesterday with my mum and brother, and we're standing in the queue. And we hear a commotion.
A
We hear a
commotion.
commotion. We see the security guard rustling over, and everyone at this point's figured out that obviously security guards trying to grab someone. And my mum, who is oblivious to the situation, is like, "Oh, I can hear something going on." She just like walks over to have a look. She's the only person who's done it as well. It's the funniest bit.
I mean, you've got to have a look when you're in the store or something, and something like that's popping off. You do have to go check it
Yeah.
out.
My mum was like, "Oh, I thought a husband and wife were fighting." And I was like, "Oh, so you thought you'd go have a look?
Oh,
You
right.
thought you'd go see the drama?"
Yeah.
Anyway, she's gone over and seen what's happening, and she's come back, and we can all hear the noise. We hear like this girl, a lady shouting, "Get the fuck off me! Get the fuck off me!" And then we hear like loads of shit smash into the ground. A couple of minutes later, we just see her like running off. She's got this bag, it's empty, and she's like fuming, swearing at the top of her voice. Everyone's the thing is the weirdest thing is in that situation. The only person that was like, "Oh, what's going on?" was mum. Everyone else kind of seemed to know and didn't like have a reaction to the situation.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, the security guard walks over to the customer service desk, which is near the tills, and he basically puts on the desk what she'd stolen, and it was like 2 jars of like Diet Butts coffee, and like
So like,
2 bottles of
so
like,
like 10, 12 pounds.
yeah, I'd say about 12 quid
Yeah.
because they were like big
The big
jars,
ones.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
and 2 bottles of like Surf washing conditioner or something, or like liquid, the liquid form because it was
So like
bottled.
£30 total.
Yeah, and obviously she legged it out the shop, fuming.
Fucking hell.
And we went to the till because we ended up getting served at the customer service till because they serve as well.
Yeah.
And Mum was like, "Oh, this is quite regular in here, isn't it?" Obviously, because no one had reacted and everyone was acting like this is a normal Sunday. And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, this happens like nearly every day." And she's like, "Yeah, you can kind of tell who's going to do it as well. You know, they walk in, it's very obvious what they're about to do, so it's easy to catch them." But she's like, "Yeah, this is literally very common in here.
Oh,
It's common to see this on a daily basis."
I bet it is.
Oh. But apparently, this is like so common now. And also, even in Morrison's, mum was saying, "Oh, make sure you take your receipt because I'll stop you to check that you've actually paid." And I was like, "But that's just ridiculous. You're not obliged to take the receipt. Like, there's chemicals on
You
it."
are now.
But they literally stop everyone all the
Yeah.
time.
Sign of the times, innit? There's a
It
reason
really
they're
is.
putting bars and stuff up around all the supermarkets.
This is why I says to mum.
Yeah. You know, they anticipate, let's say, that people are going to be stealing more. Why would people be stealing more? Because prices of things have become unaffordable. Why is that? Because we're going into a recession.
Yeah.
But, you know, generally, a recession doesn't require you to put bars on supermarkets. So I guess what they're
It's gonna,
predicting is going to
yeah.
happen is going to be quite big.
Yeah, riots or like, mass. And the thing is, where the Morrison's is, it's quite low demographic.
Hmm.
So if that's happening daily there at this period, what's going to happen going forward?
To be fair, the last 2 times that we've been shopping now, I see it yesterday. I think we were talking, so I forgot to mention to it. I see some more alcohol alarm bottles just on the side.
Yes.
Did you clock that?
Yeah.
There was like what 4 the other day in the aubergines, and there was someone like some of the shelves, and I was like, "Yo, these fuckers be rubbing the alcohol in here."
So it kind of also shows like a couple of things because I was saying to mum, I was like, if she stole like bread or like food, I'd say, oh, fair enough, like cost of living crisis. But I was like, but to me, it looks like she, maybe not the washing up stuff, but like the coffee. I was like, coffee's not a necessity. But then mum was like, because I was like, it's not a necessity, so she's probably just getting it because she can't afford to buy it, and she thought I'll just steal it. But mum was like, no, apparently if you have coffee, it like reduces your hunger.
Yeah.
It destroys your hunger. So she's like, she probably can't afford food, which is why she's stealing 2 massive jars of coffee.
You know what they
And
do?
to be fair, she was super skinny too.
You know what they do?
What?
The coffee is their food, so they don't have to eat. Yeah, and the washing detergent, they sell it. They ain't to wash
Oh,
their clothes because it's expensive, right? And
yeah,
it's one of the only things you can rub that hasn't got a label on it, like hasn't got an alarm on it. So they
yeah.
rob them,
That's
sell them.
expensive because they're like 10, 12
Yeah,
quid.
yeah, yeah. So they rob them, probably sell them for
Interesting.
like half price,
Yeah,
keep the coffee, and that's their dinner.
yeah,
Keep the change for drugs. Excuse me.
yeah. Possibly. It was funny because when we were driving home, we actually saw her walking up one of the streets, but she was with someone. So I was like, was this a 2-man operation?
Oh, there's groups of them that usually do it.
Wow.
When Mum used to work in retail, She used to tell me the maddest stories about like how people would rod stuff. Like you said, like it's so easy to spot them. When you
Yeah.
work in retail, you know what to look for because they all look the same. They'll be wearing a massive coat when it's not cold,
Yeah.
or they'd be wearing carrying big massive fuck off like carrier bags
Yeah.
with nothing in them or hardly anything in there. It's obvious what they're gonna do. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy, you just slip it in there, boom, walk
Yeah.
out. And it's always like the same, sadly, demographic of people.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they just clean themselves up a bit, they get away with it much easier.
The thing is, it's interesting because a lot of these stores have cameras. They've got those things that go off, security barriers that go off if you've
Yeah.
stolen something. But it seems that obviously this isn't doing the trick. So I feel like a lot more shops now have a lot more security all the time.
Yeah.
Like the Tesco in town, it's not even that big. I'm pretty sure the other day I went there was like two security. Two security. What are you expecting to happen here, sir?
I guess that probably, because it's in town, and it probably gets a lot of trouble. God knows.
I mean, if you're really smart and you're hungry, you just go in the shop and eat it as you're walking around, and then
In it, and then
dispose
dip
of the
out.
packet and leave.
That way,
Like,
if you got caught,
free lunch.
sorry, I've eaten it now. It's fuckery, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sad, really. It's sad that
Yeah.
this is what it's come to, but it is what it is, isn't it? Someone's got to win in capitalism, I guess, and someone's got to lose.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's not us Hunger Games.
I just made the thing because I couldn't actually whistle
It's
it.
right, we'll teach you that one.
Yeah, cool.
You've got the one toner down though.